You think it's over. You left, you blocked them, you cut all ties. But what if I told you you just entered the most dangerous phase? Research shows that nearly 60% of domestic violence survivors report their abuser became most dangerous right after they tried to leave. The narcissists don't just let go. The moment they realize they're losing control, they escalate. And if you don't recognize what's happening, you could still fall right back into their trap. This phase is called an extinction burst. It's what happens when a narcissist realizes they're losing control over you. Instead of accepting it, they panic. They fight harder, they manipulate more, they do anything to regain their power. Think about when a toddler throws a tantrum in a store because they can't have candy. First they whine, then they scream, then they throw themselves on the floor, kicking and crying. Now imagine that tantrum, but from a grown adult who is desperate for control. One moment, they're begging you to come back, telling you that they can't live without you. The next, they're furious, blaming you, threatening to ruin your life. Then silence. And just when you think they've given up, they come back again, using a new number, a fake emergency, or even mutual friend to reach you. Why do they do this? Because to a narcissist, a relationship isn't about love, it's about control. And when you leave, it's like you just shattered their entire identity. Think about it. Have they ever actually thanked you for everything you did for them? Have they ever genuinely cared about your happiness? Or did it always feel like you were just filling a role? You were never a person to them. You were an extension of their ego. And now you're breaking free. That's why they lash out. They will try everything: love bombing, fake apologies, guilt tripping, and if that doesn't work, intimidation. They will send endless texts, show up unexpectedly, or even try to turn people against you. And if you ignore them, that's when the rage kicks in. They might accuse you of things you never did. They might threaten to destroy your reputation. Some will even go as far as playing the victim, telling everyone that you abandoned them, that you are the problem. And if you think ignoring them will make them stop, think again, because this is just the beginning. The moment they realize you are serious about leaving, they will test your boundaries like never before. And if you're not prepared, you might find yourself second-guessing your decision. That's what they want. You might be thinking, okay, but maybe they'll just move on. I wish that was true. But here's what really happens, straight from someone who lived it.
I left my ex almost a month ago, and I've had no contact with him since. In the past, I tried leaving him several times, but always went back after giving in and responding. Every single time I answered, he manipulated me back in. Now, after a month of silence, he's calling me multiple times a day, sending messages that switch between anger, guilt, and love. One minute he says he can't live without me, the next he's blaming me for everything. And then suddenly, he's promising to respect my space, but only if I respond one last time. It's a cycle I refuse to be trapped in again.
This is when they become unpredictable. Some narcissists will go quiet for weeks, making you think they've moved on, but suddenly they're back, this time with a completely different approach. Maybe they start acting as if they've changed, as if they respect your space now. But it's all an act, a way to get their foot back in the door. Others will escalate to dangerous levels, showing up at your job, your home, or even reaching out to your friends and family to manipulate them against you. They might even use financial threats, legal threats, or smear campaigns to make your life harder. This is why no contact isn't just a suggestion, it's your lifeline. Every time you engage, even for a second, you give them fuel to keep going. They don't care about closure. They don't care about fixing things. They care about control. And once they realize they truly have no more control over you, that's when the real battle begins. The good news, you can protect yourself, but only if you know what to watch for. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to expose the 5 hidden warning signs that show you have entered this dangerous phase. Keep watching because this knowledge is your best defense. But before we dive deeper, I have to let you in on a little secret. Nearly 50% of you watching this right now aren't subscribed to the channel. Why not? If this content speaks to you, if it helps you feel seen, validated, or just a little less alone, please take a second to subscribe. Thank you. You ever block someone and then somehow they just keep finding a way back in? Different numbers, fake accounts, mutual friends, yeah, that's not persistence, okay? That's a calculated move. And the fake peace offering is sign number 1. First, they play nice. Out of nowhere, they send a message that sounds different. Maybe they apologize. Maybe they tell you they respect your space. Maybe they even say they understand why you left. But don't fall for it. This isn't an apology, it's a test. They want to see if they can still hook you. If you respond, they know they still have control. And the cycle begins again. Sign 2, emotional mood swings. At first, they seem calm, but the moment they realize the fake apology isn't working, the switch flips. One moment, they're saying they miss you, the next, they're furious. They blame you, they threaten you, then they're back to being heartbroken, swearing they've changed. It's a manipulation tactic called intermittent reinforcement, designed to confuse you, wear you down, and pull you back in. And if you don't recognize it, you might fall for it. Stalking and intimidation. This is the fear tactic. If emotional games don't work, they escalate. First, you tell yourself, no way, just a coincidence. Then it happens again. Then you get the sinking feeling in your stomach, the one that tells you something's off. That's when you realize this isn't random, it's planned. One survivor shared this with me.
He started texting me things like, "I saw you today in that blue sweater. You look good." But I hadn't told him where I was. I realized he was still watching me. And that's when I knew I wasn't safe.
Studies show that narcissists are 4 times more likely to engage in stalking behaviors after breakup compared to a non-narcissistic ex-partner. If this happens to you, document everything, block them, tell someone you trust, and do not engage. The next sign, smear campaigns, turning people against you. They can't control you anymore, but that doesn't mean they won't try. If they can't manipulate you directly, they'll manipulate how the world sees you. They spread lies, they twist the story, and suddenly you're hearing from mutual friends or your family members that you were the problem. They play the victim, they cry to your family, they make themselves look like the hurt one. Why? Because they want to isolate you, to make you feel like you have no one, so you'll go back to them. If you start hearing lies about yourself, don't fight it. The people who matter will see the truth, and those who don't, well, let them go, because you don't need them. Sign 5, rewriting the story, making you the abuser. This is their last trick. They rewrite history. They accuse you of the very things they did to you. They tell people you manipulated them, that you were abusive. They project their guilt onto you, because if they can convince others, maybe they can convince themselves. But here's the truth. You know what really happened, and you don't need to prove it to anyone. But even when you know the truth, there's one last trap that can keep you stuck, waiting for closure. You hope they'll admit it, say sorry, finally see what they did. But they won't, because narcissists don't want resolution. And giving you closure, that would mean admitting they were never the person they pretended to be. It would mean losing the last bit of power they think they have. So let me say what they never will. It wasn't your fault. You didn't imagine it, and you didn't deserve the abuse. You don't need their apology to begin again. You need your own permission to stop looking back. You survived what was meant to destroy you, and now it's time to reclaim every part of yourself that they tried to erase. Because you're not broken. You're becoming.